What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Talking Jets with Tigo. My name is Tigo, and we got some breaking news. Offensive tackle Duane Brown has been put on IR and will be missing a minimum of 4 weeks. But before we get into that, guys, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Really would appreciate the support there. But Duane Brown being put on the IR is kind of a big deal, especially when we look at the report, or I don't want to say look at the report, but when we look at the injury report of the New York Jets, like the official injury report, it also has George Fant listed as questionable and Connor McDermott listed as questionable. Now, that might just be because they're doing limited practices and things like that. And one of the things that you'll learn from fantasy football is that if a player misses any kind of time at practice, they have to be listed as questionable. They cannot be listed as they're gonna go or anything like that. That happens a lot with Adam Thielen, where he gets like a veteran rest on Wednesday and he doesn't practice on Wednesdays. So Wednesday he gets a questionable tag, and then he's right back to practice on Thursday, Friday, and everything like that. So there's still a good to fair chance that obviously Connor McDermott and George Fant are just getting rest days and things like that. But the real question that has to be had here is, how serious is this injury to George Fant? According to some people on Twitter and some reporters, it seemed serious enough that surgery was one of the options on it, and that Duane Brown has elected to go into a rehab program to try to recover as quickly as possible and make his timeline for return being week 5. Now, this is obviously a little bit longer of an injury than I think all of us were hoping that Duane Brown had, and we really don't have a report on what caused the injury, if it was a tackle or if it was we just don't know what happened really that caused the injury. Now, the good thing is that this injury to Duane Brown kind of matches up with the injury timeline for Zach Wilson, so there's that. But also it's a baptism by fire for Max Mitchell. You're at right tackle, and for the foreseeable future, for at least the next 4 weeks, it doesn't look like there's anybody who's going to come take your job. And it's sink or swim. He's got to swim, right? We really got to hope that Max Mitchell is that dude, that my evaluation and my belief in him is correct. And we got to hope to see the George Fant from last year on that offensive left side of the ball on the offensive line, and not the George Fant of previous years. And so if we can get solid play out of George Fant and out of Max Mitchell, it gives us more opportunity to let Duane Brown really rehab and really, get himself right and not have to rush him back because we feel like the offensive tackle situation is drowning. Now, the other question that needs to be had is, who are we going to bring in to replace Duane Brown? There are a couple of options. There's always the option of elevating one of the practice squad tackles, with guys like Chuma Edoga signing with the Atlanta Falcons and some of the other tackles that were at camp being signed elsewhere. It almost seems like the best option is to just go into this game with the 3 tackles that we have, and the idea that worst case scenario, Elijah Vera Tucker bumps out to the outside and we can bring in Nate Herbig to play guard. You run that, and then maybe you try to get another tight end on the squad, maybe try to elevate Kenny Yeboah and really try to help the tackles with the blocking or an assist from the tight ends. Maybe it's you bring up another running back or something to just try and help the blocking situation, and you elevate somebody to try to help that out. I just don't see how elevating a tackle makes the most sense. I think the tackle that we would be elevating is just, if Jets fans aren't a fan of Connor McDermott and Chuma Edoga, I can only imagine what Herman's is going to be and how good he can be if he's on the practice squad and we're keeping those guys. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. This does suck that this happens, especially because it means like we're going into the season missing, with 3 really big injuries, and those 4 really big injuries in my opinion. And the 4 injuries, 3 of them are to positions that, you really can't have an injury at, right? Is one is starting quarterback with Zach Wilson being out, and then two injuries at offensive tackle, and both of those injuries being key pieces. You know, Mekhi Becton was supposed to be a stud on the right side. Duane Brown was supposed to be Mekhi Becton's replacement. I think no one expected Max Mitchell to start week one other than me, but that's just the reality of the situation. And then the other injury for you guys are going to ask is Nick Bawden. I think he was a very, very important part of this team. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think. I'm excited to see tomorrow, see the game. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens. But last but not least, go Jets.